Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Caleb Kronen, and I'm an audiologist at the Marion Downs Center in Denver, Colorado. And today I'm going to talk to you about noise-induced hearing loss in children and in teenagers. Let me share my screen now with my slides. Noise-induced hearing loss in children and teenagers sometimes gets overlooked because we think of it as more of an adult issue when you're losing hearing from loud sounds. Um, One thing to think about here is that it's not just from work that we can lose hearing. It can be from hobbies, it can be from fun events, etc. Let's think about the history of all this. In 1943, there was a research study done, and 15% of males had a little bit of a tonal dip, and 5% of females. But why do we care about all this? I mean, noise exposure of children, it can cause hearing loss, it can cause tinnitus, it can cause sleep issues, cognitive deficits, reading problems, stress, cardiovascular effects. I mean, wow, that's a lot of things that we can deal with, and 16% of teens are going to deal with this. What's really interesting is, unlike a lot of health issues, noise-induced hearing loss just adds up over your lifetime. And one of the interesting things, I always say it's like a drop in the bucket, because every time we go to the fireworks or we go to the monster truck rally, you get a couple drops in your bucket. But by the time you're 30, 40, 50 years old, that all catches up to you and it all adds up. And the reason is that your ear, the nerves in your ear, they don't heal from noise damage. They can heal a little bit in the first couple of days, but most of the time, the damage we get from loud sounds is permanent. Here's a quote from Fulmer in 2004. A mild hearing loss in adolescence may deteriorate to a debilitating degree in later life. So when are children exposed to high levels of noise? As a newborn, there's a lot of machines that can be in the NICU or in other health settings, um, where we found, 57 decibels all the way up to 90. Babies can be exposed to 70 to 80 decibels for long periods of time. And there's peaks up to 120 decibels. We got toys. I've measured a lot of my kids' holiday toys that they get, and some of them over 100 decibels. Um, Toys can be ridiculously loud. My sons have a dinosaur toy that's well over 100 decibels. So, what is the regulations about toys? Well, there is the American Society of Toy Manufacturers, and they have a safety standard. And it talks about maximal sound pressure levels. It talks about specific levels that are defined for impact and kind of more explosive impulse noises. Not regulated, though, if controlled by muscular activity of the child or by blowing. Interesting. There's some other recreational risks. We have football games that can be up to 97 decibels. Rockies games, if you measure a Rockies game, you will get 1,675% of your daily noise dosage. Junior drag racing was 440% of your dosage. Remember, you want to be under 100% here. A monster truck rally was 400% dose. The National Western Stock Show for 6 hours was a 200% noise dose. Disney on Ice for 2 hours used up all 100% of the noise dosage that were allowed for the day. And off-road vehicles in the summertime or wintertime be between 80 and 100 decibels, 110 decibels. 800% noise dosage in 5 hours from boat racing. So we're talking about sporting events here. We talked about that Rockies game. That was over 17 days of work exposure. 94 decibels on average. The stock show, just going over this again here, 200% dosage in 6 hours. Oh, wow. 91 decibels here for this event. That's 400% of your dosage. There's a baby in the crowd. What do you notice there? No hearing protection. Drag racing over at the Speedway. Well, 440% of your noise dosage at 100 decibels on average. Monster truck rally, 91, 400% dosage. Broncos game, 110 decibels. Fireworks, this is a big one. People always say to me, oh, I've never been exposed to loud sounds. Well, actually you have. Almost everyone I know has gone to the fireworks. And that's 90 decibels on average, but can get all the way up to 156 decibels at peak sound pressure level. Firearms, people take their kids hunting or target practice. 140 decibels could be all the way up to 173. Really, really loud stuff there. Teen jobs, here's a teen working at the shooting range, not wearing his hearing protection, damaging his ears. They could go to work with dad or mom, start being exposed to nail guns or power tools. That could be 85 to 110 decibels, 92 dB on average. And just to give you an idea here, 90 decibels is really loud. In Europe, that's considered much more dangerous than in America, but 90 is the cutoff that the Occupational Safety and Health Administration will allow at work. Again, let's think about teen jobs here. Cleaning off someone's deck here was 87.4 decibels on average. That is, again, definitely over the action level of 85 decibels. They should be wearing hearing protection, no question. Okay, let me think about occupation. Okay, so you're helping mom or dad or grandpa out on the farm here. Oh, well, the tractor's 95 to 103 decibels. That's dangerous. Okay, well, what about band class in school or woodworking class? Band class is dangerously loud at 90 decibels on average. Could be anywhere between 80 and 100 decibels. Woodworking class, 86 to 114 decibels. Both dangerous classes. Music, oh, this reminds me of me. So, you think about, I was in a band in high school, and my ears would ring afterwards, rock band. And 86 decibels seems even a little low for what a lot of people play. Going on stage, 105 decibels on stage here. Stage levels can even exceed 108 decibels. That's very, very loud. And I'm on stage almost every week, and I can attest that is a very accurate number, very dangerous. People put subwoofers in their cars. Oh my goodness. That could be really, really loud, 150 decibels. This is the type of sound that can damage your ears in just minutes. Putting in your AirPods, listening to your phone, music on your phone. People will crank it up so they can mow the lawn, hear the music over the noise. Oh, that's a big one. But what can we do to limit children's exposure on their earphones? Well, you could put a volume lock on the device. You can get volume limited, output limited earphones. Okay, well, let's see here. Wow, wow, wow. Fireworks was 24% of their noise dosage. Circus was 51%. Movie theater ended up being 57%. Now we start getting into the really dangerous stuff. Basketball game, 144. So definitely way too much noise for one day. Drag racing, 440. Football game, 716. Outdoor free concert was 1,308% of the daily noise dosage. Wow, that's loud. Children's concert, 1,400. Baseball game, 1,400. Baseball playoff game got all the way up to 1,600% of somebody's noise dose. This is something we really need to pay attention to. So what do we do? What do we do? Decrease the levels, decrease how long you're exposed to the sound, and provide earplugs or earmuffs protection, right? So M's for Bubs is a good option for babies. It's got that soft band. You got baby bands. My cousin just had a baby, and I got her some of these as her gift. They even have some for infants. Okay, young children, they got ear muffs are always a good option. They got kid-oriented ones. Earplugs are good for older children. Custom is really good for kids, but they do grow out of them quickly. I'm thinking about swim plugs, and there's a little bit of a choking hazard here. So they do make smaller earplugs for kids that are flanged, kind of that ribbed almost look. Foam can be tricky because it takes a little bit extra skill to put them in and take them out. So how do you fit an earplug? Well, you take your middle finger and your pointer finger and your thumb and roll it up into a really small, thin snake. And then you can pull your top of your ear and pull it up and back. And that straightens out the canal. Then you just slide it in really deep. Then you just want to hold it there for about 20 seconds until you feel it expand and the sound gets really muffled. So you can kind of tug on your ear and see if it sounds good. You could also say boom and beat and hear if there's a difference there. Custom recreational hearing protection is amazing. An audiologist like myself could help somebody get that. They take impressions of their ears. You can get special ones for concerts, for motorsports, for swimming, for all sorts of stuff, for firearm usage. So there's lots of different options. I urge you to talk to your child's audiologist about some custom ear protection earplugs. So here's a problem though. Okay, we got a lot of loud sound sources. We got noisy toys, noisy jobs, noisy fun recreational activities. We have our phones blasting in our ears. That's the personal listening device exposure. Problem number 2, people don't wear their hearing protection, whether they forget or they don't want to spend the money on it or they don't care. People often don't wear their earplugs or earmuffs. Or they do wear them, but they put them in incorrectly. I mean, both these kids, their earplugs are not in right and it's not working. Or adult mentoring, adults that just don't have that desire to tell their youngins, hey, please wear the earplugs. Look at me. I'm wearing my earplugs. I'm wearing my earmuffs. You should do it too. In that intergenerational sharing of information is really important. But there are some really cool educational programs. There's Dangerous Decibels. There's It's a Noisy Planet. My wife teaches 5th grade, and I've been trying to get her to teach this It's a Noisy Planet or this Dangerous Decibels stuff. Sometimes teachers just don't have the time to do it, though. So here's keys to teaching about noise-induced hearing loss. You got to build knowledge that's age-appropriate. Get a focused curriculum, music, life science, physical science, health science, right? Teach it in the classroom. Teach it at home. And you got to address attitudes. It's not, oh, I'm tough. I don't need earplugs. That's the wrong attitude to have. Have the attitude of, I want to be able to hear everything, and I want to be as healthy as I can and have the best ears I can. Have a good attitude towards hearing protection. Have a good attitude, a logical attitude about music exposure. Set an example up in the classroom. So the goal is to change the student's actual behavior. And age is important. Younger children are more open to learning. We found that 4th graders retain more knowledge after 3 months than 7th graders did. So if you have not yet built in good listening habits, you got to start thinking about that. You may not have learned conflicting information. Adolescents change knowledge and attitudes, but they might not change their behavior. We've found that. So they might learn the whole class about how to protect their ears or why it's important, but they just might not change their actual behaviors. They still might not wear the earplugs because they don't want other kids to laugh at them or whatever. So here's an example: dangerous decibels. The Dangerous Decibels Project is a public health campaign designed to reduce the incidence and prevalence of noise-induced hearing loss and tinnitus, also known as ringing in the ears, by changing knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors of school-aged kids. So how do you protect your ears? You turn it down, you walk away, and you wear earplugs or earmuffs. So here's the take-home messages. Music-induced hearing loss can be either recreational or occupational, and your intervention, what you do about it, may vary. Music-induced hearing loss has the potential to be really widespread between listening on your earphones, going to concerts, and, hearing loss is completely preventable. It's so great, it's completely preventable. So that concludes my talk today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at caleb.kronen@mariondowns.org. That's caleb.kronen@mariondowns.org. And I urge you to please protect your hearing, get your kiddos to protect their hearing, and understand that we want to hear for a whole lifetime. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.